Yeah.
Hey, Miss Jamie.
Hey,
Oh,
I've just
you got it
started
too?
recording. Yes.
Okay. I'd already presented mine because we didn't know if you wanted us to wait or not.
No, I didn't want you to wait. I was just experimenting to see if I could record more than one at a time.
Okay.
And we didn't think I could, but I think I did, but who knows? But I think I did. So anyway, sorry, Skip and I are just trying to figure all this out.
That's okay.
Not a problem.
So Laramie, I was gonna my comments on this what you did. I did centers a lot whenever I was with. I taught general music,
Mhm.
elementary general music for a great part of my career, and those things are wonderful things to have. To, keep them busy and make it interesting for them to keep changing subjects and stuff like that. But I found that you do definitely have to teach them how to
Oh,
from
yes.
one center to the next. And I even now, especially after the 18 months of 19, however many months of COVID, I have to reteach the band how to go to the instrument room to get their instruments and come back to the seats and do that correctly without falling into complete chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Teach them how to get on and off the bus at a competition, how to go dress, all that stuff. You know, and it seems like I'm doing that a whole lot more now than I've ever had to do. But once you get it established, it kind of
Definitely.
keeps going. But yeah, I like the fact that you had to do that. You had a very, I guess, vivid way of doing it. To get their attention.
Yeah. I think, especially this year, I mean, our second graders, they didn't even finish their year of kindergarten. So some of mine hadn't even rode a bus
Hmm.
because they weren't here last year,
Right.
and they were car riders because of being a kindergartner the year before. And so we literally, everything we did the first few weeks, I mean, we're still getting in routines right now. Um, Everything we did, we literally, okay, you stand up, push your chair up, stand behind it, and then you wait, and then you line up. So it was everything we did the first, especially the first week. It was step by step how to do it properly, so we wouldn't have issues down the road. And a lot of my centers, we're just now really getting into reading groups because we've had to practice how to sit, or not how to sit, but how to stay in your area, keep your materials where they belong, what you do when you're done, and all of those things, because that's a big classroom management. Because I would spend all year, telling them, when you're done, go do this. When you're done, go do that. Well, if I said it at the very beginning, then they know that expectation. When I'm done, I need to finish work, or I need to read AR, which is our accelerated reader. And so it really helps to have that on there too, because I even have, in order of the bullets is what they do. So, like, if you're doing Lexia, you do that first. When you're done with it, then you can read AR. When they do their journal writing, they do the journal, then they do a vocabulary activity, and then they do a grammar activity. So it's in order of what they can do. And when they're done, there's always something that they can keep working on. So there's nothing that they come up to my desk or my group and they say, I'm done. What do I do? There's always something to keep them going.
Right.
So I really like that part of it too. Even your non-readers will pick up on the key words of, like, um, Lexia, because they see that when it pops on their screen. So they see that. And then AR, they know what that means. It's independent reading time. And so that really helps to keep them all on task. But my mentor suggested that I share it with our second grade group because we have so many new teachers and we've explained it to them, but I don't think they haven't really seen it in action. So I think one of the things I'm going to do later on is kind of go in and say, okay, I have this tool. If you want to use it, that's fine. But I think it would be a great resource for them just to help them manage, because I think some of them are having a little trouble with managing their classroom during that time because it is chaotic when you have 5 kids with you and the rest of the class, 15 to 20, are doing something independently for 2 hours or an hour and a half total. So, but
And that's hard enough with a high school group.
Yes. Yeah, I like how organized it is. I could probably take some lessons from you with the high schoolers.
I like
And
to be
keeping them on time.
organized.
Do what?
I like to be organized.
Yeah, I think that's part of being an elementary teacher too. Like that's just a
Hmm.
characteristic you have to have. Yeah, keeping them all organized and on task, and yeah, it's a skill. It's a talent.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's a lot of planning too, I feel
It
like, on
is.
your part. Do you like just stay after a lot and just a lot of time put into it? Yeah. Yeah.
Friday night I left at 6:30,
Oh,
and every day last week I didn't leave before 4:30. Just as far as getting, because we've got a new, or we're working on a different reading group activities and a different way to approach teaching reading. And so a lot of it, we're having to make things and print, and I'm spending a lot of time just prepping. I'm trying to prep for when we come back from fall break now, because I really don't want to spend fall break here.
right. Yeah. You shouldn't.
Yeah. So it's a lot of trying to, because my centers, most of them are differentiated based on my reading levels. So I've even got 5 reading groups technically, but one group I teach of a morning, their center or their small group time. And then during another rotation, I've grouped them with another group, but they're off doing a literature circle. So they're really independent. I have a few that are just really independent and can handle that.
Yeah.
But the rest of my groups are very needy, and we're working on basic skills and basic handwriting right now, just where they haven't had a pencil to paper, some of them, since 2019.
Yeah.
So that's made a big impact on our reading groups and how
Mm.
far our span of students is.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's all I've got.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
How do we share the screen in this? I'm used to Google, not used to Google Meet. I'm used to Zoom.
There's a button at the bottom that has an arrow up and it says present now.
All right.
And when you click on it, it'll give you 3 options. You can share your entire screen, which is what I did just because that's what I was used to doing with my kids. You can share a window or a tab.
Do entire screen.
And then you won't be able to see us.
Right.
That's the only thing I don't like about this.
Not giving me the option of sharing it. I mean, it's on, but the share button's not letting me click it. Try again.
Is it showing your...
And see, that's not. Can you see that part? All right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I don't see anything. I had trouble with mine last time that I had to present, and I mean, I'm okay, John. If you just want to talk about it, you
Yeah.
don't have to present anything.
Well,
I
I
know
want
because
to show. Okay, I'm going to try it. There, I can do my tab. Can you see that?
oh
Yes.
yes,
Okay, so I'll do a tab at a time, I guess. So this is my artifact. It's a music analysis form. I also have one for art because I teach arts and humanities as well as band. And this is from my arts and humanities class. And I adapted and developed this one. Well, and this one is, I have a paper version that I'm using right now, but during COVID, I used this one. But I use it, I play an excerpt from, one of the composers we're talking about, and they're supposed to write down or find basic information about it first, like when it was performed, the time period, and the place it was composed, basic things like that that they can look up, and also what style it is. I usually help them with that. And they've also had another arts and humanities class that we kind of break it up into 2 parts. We have part 1 is the elements. We teach them more about how to understand break music down into the 7 different or 8 different elements, who you are, and art and dance and drama. We try to teach it all in 12 weeks, by the way, which is
Oh,
impossible.
gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's just a survey class. They really don't learn much. And on top of that, in our county, they don't really have a lot of experience from kindergarten up to high school. But they're doing it more than they used to, but still not enough. But anyway, they're supposed to know enough about this already when they have the second part, which is what I'm teaching right now, about what tempo is and texture and timbre and all that. But what they do is react to the music and decide whether it's monophonic, homophonic, polyphonic. And that explains right there. If the tempo's fast or slow, does it get faster or slower? And they just record the answers. But they're actually actively listening when they're doing it. That's what I'm trying to teach them, is how to actively listen to music, and not just the music from history that I teach, but I mean even the music they listen to now. You know, right now most people just listen to music on the surface and really don't know what's going on. They just listen. You know, it entertains them, but they don't know a lot about why it does. You know, and so they describe the dynamics of loud and soft, what elements. Then they start. Then they go. This takes them to a deeper level, and that's what I'm trying to do here is get them to think deeper when they're listening to music. And like I said, I have one for art too, and we do the same thing for art. But they really have to decide in their own mind which elements do you think are most important in the piece of music they're listening to. You know, is it the instruments that they're hearing? Is it, you know, dynamics? Or, you know, they have to decide. There's no right or wrong answer, but they have to think about it. They can't just put yes or no or write IDK on it like they say all the time. I don't know. But so that those questions that make you think deeper, like, you know, which emotions are more important? Explain why. Why do you think that? You know, what emotions are conveyed? You know, and that'll be, I tell them that it'll be different for every person. You know, and how did a composer? How do you think the composer accomplished that? You know, and so they kind of really have to think even deeper about digging into what they heard, and well, this part of the music made me feel this way. You know, and so forth. And then they try to decide on their on, you know, what's the purpose of the story or the story told by the music. But the whole tool again is just to get them to go deeper than saying, "Oh, that music was great," or "That music, you know, hated the music," or worse. They, you know, come up with worse words than words I'm coming up right now. But you know, some get really mad. You know, with art they don't get mad when I present art from history. You know, as they do when I play music, because people take that as a personal. Um, I guess a personal choice based on taste. And I try to tell them this is not what the purpose of this class. I'm trying to expose you to music from different times and different, you know, cultures, and and have you at least step out of your personal box for just a minute. You know, I'm not trying to make them, you know, become lovers of Mozart. You know, but I want them to understand, you know, why people love, why his music is still important today. Why is it still, you know, and why do people still listen to it? Why is it still here? And what part of, and some of that is, there is part of that music, whether it's the music you like to listen to on your own or not. There's part of that music that does make you move you emotionally and has a purpose and so forth. But that's what this is for. Is kind of go deeper. I'm in the I'm still in the environment category. It seems like this would be a planning, you know, thing, but I'm still in the environment category because of that. I'm trying to motivate them to go beyond just sitting in a seat and um, doing the bare minimum to get past the class. You know, I'm trying to get them to think deeper and to understand it's more than just entertainment with music and art and dance and all that stuff. But then they rate it, which is an evaluation thing. You know, do you think the composer did a good job? And they put a number down. And then they write their own personal reaction to it, which still may have some of that first reaction they usually do when I first play something like this. Um, but at least they are thinking about it, you know, and some actually change their perception about it. But is this on your screen? I've
Yes.
changed tabs.
Yes.
Oh
Is
no,
it,
it's still
It's
your
the form.
form.
okay, so I'm gonna go back and see if I can change it then. Presenting.
I like that you have them playing the live music while they're doing that.
Right. Tab.
Yeah, I like that too, how it's interactive. It's pretty engaging.
Right.
Oh, that's what they're always looking for, interaction and engaging activities.
Right. And some of the kids, I have to prod them, poke them, and prod them even to do that form and everything because they don't want to go that deep. They just want to,
Yeah.
do the class. It's a required class at Arts and Humanities. It's for the ones who didn't take band or choir or art and didn't take it. So these are the ones, uh, walk in with a lot of camouflage or mud on their feet and stuff like that. It's just not for them, but it is, it's very part of the overall curriculum.
Right.
The
They
all
still
have
need that experience.
to the arts. Yeah. Uh, so what am I doing? Art, I gotta see where I am. Oh, I know where it was. All right. So my problem of practice again was to find a way for the general population students, visual and performing arts students, to engage in a deep understanding or deeper understanding, not necessarily deep, because you can't do that in 12 weeks with all those disciplines. I'm not just teaching music, I'm teaching art history, I'm teaching music history, dance, uh, drama, and even literature in
That's a
12
lot to
weeks.
throw in.
Yeah. And I cover a lot, but they probably don't get as deep as they need to. They don't really understand what's going on. If you look at the Kentucky standards for the arts and humanities, we just barely even scratch the surface. They need to know a lot more than they know, right? Even at the point where they are in high school. But anyway, that's my goal: is just get them to go deeper than just scratching the surface, as deep as they can with the time frame we have. But what else am I supposed to do here? What standards? I don't know.
Um, Next steps.
Next steps. So, let's see. My mentor gave me some next steps here. But well, she suggested I adapt the form to use for in the future with visual art. I've already done that. I've got one that's specific to that, and to incorporate art, uh, perhaps to draw their emotions that the composer is trying. So maybe to put them together. Yeah, uh, and that kind of puts them in another discipline at the same time, and probably reaches a higher DOK level when they do that. What else am I supposed to do?
Uh,
Maybe the impact. I don't. We kind of touched on that already,
yeah.
but yeah,
I
I
kind
get.
of
Yeah,
put it all in one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was good.
hmm I really like that. It's a good tool to use, especially for the older ones, because
Right.
it's getting them interactive and it's something on the computer they can do. It's
Right.
Yeah,
not pencil paper.
yeah. I've really enjoyed doing Google Forms.
hmm
It's neat to see the results, quickly, and like you want to do a survey or something like that. Yeah, I like Google Forms, and the kids like it too. Okay, well, I can try to present again. We'll try this.
If the internet
Well,
will hold out.
yeah, hopefully this will work. All right,
Go ahead.
so I'm going to click on. Do y'all see anything?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay! Okay, okay. So let me present there. Are y'all still good?
Yeah.
Still see
Mhm.
something? So my research, I actually used this research with another artifact that I did um last I don't know, it was probably back in February, but I felt like it was so good I wanted to use it again. This is a new semester, new kids, and like you guys have said before, like you're getting this new group in, and a lot of them haven't been at school since March of 2020, and so there was a lot of like reteaching going on even in the high school, just being able to talk to each other, just being able to get up and present information. It was just, I kind of took it for granted that they hadn't been in a building and around other peers. And like I said, I just totally took that for granted. And then when we started school this year, it was like I was ready to roll, but a lot of them were not because they just felt uncomfortable being in a classroom when they hadn't been in one in so long. Um, So in my research, it talks about how presenting information and talking in front of a group of people is so important. And you can see the quote that I have up on the screen. When students prepare and present portfolios of their own work to a public audience, they are demonstrating mastery of more than the traditional academic skills. They present themselves articulately and powerfully and to work independently to a high standard. So I decided that with this getting to know you worksheet that I had them to do, I found off this Facebook creative English teacher Facebook group this activity where they will create a Google slide and we share it so like everybody can see everyone's slide and we presented it as a class, and when their slide came up they had to get up in front of the classroom and present the information that was on there, and it was about themselves. So I just really think it's important to be able to get up and present something in front of a group of people, especially with the juniors and seniors I have, because eventually they are going to have to speak. I focus on reading and writing so much that I kind of forget about the speaking that I need to go over in my class. And I just, like I said, I feel like that's so important. And in my research, it just backed that up. And in bold here, the second quote I have, it says, people who know how to work and present themselves well are likely to be accepted into a good college, a well paying job, and an important conversation. And so these skills are just really important. Not just reading, writing, math skills. They really need to know how to present and how to speak to a group of people. Um, let's see. And this was something that they created. It was their own. They had a lot of ownership to it. And so it was neat to see them work through the kinks. It'd been a while since they even had to create a Google slide. And so them to see them work together and independently, it was just really neat to see that. And then they were able to get up and, at first they were saying, oh, I don't want to present. I don't really like to get up and speak in front of everyone. But the first few people who presented, it just like it gave the whole other, everybody else in the classroom, it gave them confidence to get up and actually present. Um, so I want to show you guys what one of the slides looks like. So I called it This Is Us. There's a TV show called This Is Us. I'm not sure if you guys have ever watched it before.
I
Uh,
have.
okay. Can you see the slide that says
Yes.
This Is Us? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I've never watched it, but I just know it's pretty popular. And so, like I said, I just wanted to create this Google slide where the kids could add their slides in here and everybody can see it. So, like, the number one rule was don't mess with other people's slides. Like, be respectful, only go to your slide and just work on yours. So, and that's kind of, you think by the time they're 17, 16, 17 years old, they would know that. But, you just have to go over those rules again. So I called it This Is Us, and this is just for my first block class. I have two other classes as well. But I gave the instructions here. So they had to create a slide that had their name. They had to pick a favorite quote. They had to find a picture of themselves. They had to come up with 5 fun facts about themselves. And then they had to embed a walk up song. So if they, as they walked up to the front of their room, I played that song for them as they walked up. And so the song had to be something meaningful to them. And of course, everything that they did on this Google slide was something they had to explain. Or it might be something that other people had in common, or it might be a little different. And so they were able to really talk about it. So it was neat for me to get to know these kids, but for their peers to get to know them even more as well. So I put on there, how to insert a picture if they didn't know how to do that. And then how to insert a clip of their walk up song. They couldn't do the entire song, but just find a certain section of the song that you wanted and we'll, put it on that Google slide. So that was a lesson in itself, just trying to teach them how to do that. And so I created a slide and, just to model that for them. And quote, my 5 fun facts. I have absolutely no pictures of just myself. I don't take selfies or anything. And, no disrespect if you guys do that. That's just the time and age we're in right now. But I don't. And so I had to dig deep, and I just found one of me and my husband when we were at the beach. So my hair's a little wind blown, and I have no makeup on or anything, but it's okay. I didn't care. And then my student teacher, she created one as well. Are y'all still with me?
Yes, we
Okay,
see it.
good. All right.
I was just reading what they had put
No,
on
you're fine. I can't see you guys. So I was just like, am I talking to anybody right now? Because I can't see you all. But here's my student teacher. And, like I said, we just modeled what we wanted. And then finally we get to the kids, and, they did a really good job, and they actually really enjoyed doing this. But the thing was, we presented this to the class, and when their name appeared up on the screen, they had to walk up in front of the class and they had to present this information, which was a big deal for them. Like, they don't like to get up and speak, but they did. And like I said, I just had some really good ones at the beginning, and that helped. It's like when you have those first ones that are willing to show that they can do it, then it spreads. Everybody else is like, oh yeah, I can get up there and do it too. So yeah, as you go through here, or as I go through here, you'll just see where some of them did it. And of course, there were some grammar mistakes, but we tried to go over that with them and tell them what to fix. And then I had some who didn't do all the requirements. Like this fella here, he didn't put a picture of himself on there, but so he got some points taken off for that. But that's realistic, right? They all don't do everything you ask them to do.
All cars to the front, take buses to the cafeteria.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. And Laramie, I don't know how long you've taught in Adair County. I have absolutely no idea, but I don't know if you recognize any of these students.
No, mine are, let's see, Bailey. I went blank. Briley Wheat will be my first group coming back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think he's 8th grade, I believe.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
still at the
Okay.
middle school.
I wasn't sure how long. I
Yeah.
knew you were younger than me.
Now, my
quite a few-
Metcalfe County kids, my first
yeah.
graduating group was 2 years ago.
Okay.
So this is my 14th year, and I taught first grade to start with, and then second.
Okay. All right. So I was thinking maybe you knew some of these kids. But anyway, yeah. So it's just, like I said, just really neat to see what all they had to say. And they had to explain their quote. Why did they like it? Why did they pick it? And why did they pick the song that they, had on their slide? So back to my research, exit full screen. Let's see. Oh, let me see. Okay, I don't know what I've done, but let me get back to my mate. Okay, I'll stop presenting for a minute. There was a little bit more to look at. But anyway, I have a second block and I have a third block that we did that with. But the point of it was just getting them up and presenting information. They are about to graduate and they're about to go in for job interviews and, the real world. And they just need to get comfortable getting up in front of a group of people and speaking. And I found the research to just back that up. And I thought, we'll start off slow. We'll try to come up with something about themselves, and maybe they'll feel comfortable presenting that. And then my next steps is we're going to do a research paper. And we're going to do the same thing where they have Google Slides, and they will find the most interesting things from the research paper or just basic information from the research paper and put that on a Google Slide and present it to the class too. So, like I said, I've always worked on reading and writing, and now my goal is to get them up and present and speak because and listening too. Listening is really important as well. So that's just my next step. I don't know. Do y'all have any questions? I feel like I rambled a lot.
Oh, I ramble every time I have to speak because that'll be good for them, though, because just like we're doing, we're having to present to each other.
Yeah.
And even as a teacher, I still get tongue tied and
Yeah.
Thinking in my head, well, that didn't sound right.
Yeah. Oh,
So that'll
yeah.
give them some good experience in doing that. And I really liked it because you get to know the kids too. and they get to know their classmates. That's kind of like what we do at the elementary level at the beginning of the year of get to know you bags. Like I had mine bring in 5 items about themselves. Like some of them brought their favorite color, their favorite toys, and things like that. And so others got to see, oh, so and so likes Hot Wheels. I do too. And that started
Yeah.
a friendship. And
Right.
so I think that's really neat.
Oh, thank you.
I absolutely hated doing any kind of presentations in high school.
Me.
But I never realized I'd be a teacher either, so that helped. But I like what you did as far as making it easy for them at first. I mean, everybody likes to talk about themselves, and it's just easy. And of course, we didn't have this when I was in high school. We didn't have Google Slides or any kind of, if we had slides, it was like you had to get it developed in like actual pictures and it had a projector. Uh, uh, we barely even had computers back then.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. I had to we'd put it on the index cards and just get it right in front of everybody and talk. With slides and things like that, you could at least divert the attention, or at least feel like you're diverting the attention from yourself speaking.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like you have a visual, they can focus on it instead of focusing on me while I'm
yeah.
speaking. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny because, here we are, we're all teachers, and I hate presenting in front of people. Oh, I hate it. And especially adults. Like, I'm okay with my kids in my classroom, but if you ask me to speak at a teachers meeting, oh my gosh. It's like my heart starts pounding, I get nervous. I don't know. I just feel like they'll judge me more. I don't know. But it is important for them to get up and just talk and know how to talk to other people. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, um, I don't
So
know what time we're supposed to go back to the other Google Meet.
We had 70 minutes and we didn't start till 4:15. So it's been
5:30.
almost an hour.
Yeah.
And since we only had 3, other groups have 4 and 5. You may see if I need to text her and tell her that we're done if she wants to stop recording or.
Yeah, that's fine. John, did you say you guys are on fall break this week?
starting next week,
Next week, yeah.
we're not going to practice through fall break this year,
Yeah. You need a break.
right?
Yeah, I'm
We
sure
don't
you
have
put
it.
in long.
We don't have any ball games scheduled to go to this year either, so I'm just taking it off.
Yeah. Yeah, ours is next week too, and we're not doing anything. We're not going anywhere, but it's just nice to have a break and be home.
We are headed to the beach.
Oh, I'm jealous. I love the
We
So
are.
beach.
excited.
We are too.
Are you? Where are you all going?
We got suckered into buying a timeshare many years when we first got married, and we're still stuck with it. If you want to buy one, I'll sell it to you for $1.
No, I'm good.
A
Um,
dollar? Really? Okay.
you have to pay maintenance fees for life,
Yeah.
or deed it to your kids and put them in the same prison. But anyway, at our home resort is in Ormond Beach, right on the north side of Daytona Beach. And this will be the first year we've actually stayed in the resort. So we used to exchange it, go other places. So,
Yeah.
but
That'd be neat.
Daytona Beach area, that's where we're going.
We're going down to Gulf Shores.
Gulf Shores, okay, a little closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't been to the beach in 4 years.
Mm.
I think my youngest he had turned 1 and we went. But
And
so it's been a little bit.
with the timeshares, we're forced to go every year somewhere. So
That's kind of a good thing.
sort of. I mean, financially, it's not the best thing. We could actually rent it out to people if we wanted to. This year
We always go to Pam.
Sorry,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just going to say we may
Oh,
spend
I
some
was just
time St. Augustine we've never been there. Well, we haven't been there as a family. I think I went there when I was a kid. But
That's a pretty place. I've only been there once. Oldest city, right? St. Augustine? Yeah. Yeah. We always go to Panama City Beach every summer. We say we're going to try a different beach and we just can't do it. We love it there. It's actually not Panama City Beach, it's like right outside it. But when we go eat and stuff, we always go to Panama City. But oh gosh, we just love it. Love it, love it.
we tried to go there. We tried to go there last year. The hotels were open, and we ended up going to Fort Walton, Destin
Yeah.
area.
I think another group's done. One of the girls here at school texted and asked what time we were supposed to go back,
Right.
but Jamie hadn't responded.
Well, I did hear her say that, because somebody immediately talked about, what if we don't make 70 minutes? And she said, it's okay, some groups will be done earlier, but I don't know. I don't remember what she said for us to do.
I don't either. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, is it okay if you guys come back to the main meeting room?